Okay, so what is a win condition, everyone?
How do
The condition you need to win a team fight. Or the game.
the
Or the
way
game,
you're
yeah.
gonna win a fight, yeah.
So the condition is something that will be that if you meet that condition, you will be winning that team fight or game. So in that context, you've got to be starting to think about them under there's two major ones, like two major rules of thumbs that I tend to look at when I'm doing my own win condition tracking, which is first is your composition versus their composition, right? And you're trying to work out in the neutral fight so we don't have ultimates. When what happens when you don't have any ultimates in the neutral fight? Do you play faster than them? Like, do you have more healing than them, or do you have less healing than them? Do you have more burst healing but less normal healing? Do you need a win condition in that neutral fight? So it's not just how you play in that neutral, it's you still have win conditions even in that neutral fight. Oh, excuse me. So, and the other one for a rule of thumb is probably your ultimate usage. So if you've got ultimate advantage or not, if you need to be forcing out their ults, if you need to be taking ults yourself or investing more yourself. But in general, win conditions can be a whole host of things. So you could easily say that a win condition could just is as simple as going in on whoever we wall, because that is a win condition. That's not really, that's like a neutral fight win condition. That's kind of the two high level things that you're looking at, but underneath them, that's what you're underneath those two major ones, you need to be breaking them down into littler steps underneath. So just for a quick example, do you know what, if you're in a mirror matchup, for God's sake, I'm dying. So in a mirror matchup, do you know who wins that matchup? If it's, say, double shield versus double shield and you're both running a pharmacy. Or a Doomfist, or or whatever, like, it doesn't really matter. Just in general. So who on your team is going to end up being the most effective? So yeah, on your you're in the right position with the projectile. Usually, just now anyway, projectile, the team that gets the most value out of the projectile player is the team that's going to win the neutral fight and into the first fight. Then on top of that, you're starting to look at things I'm talking about just now in this meta, because Widowmaker is obviously a big one for win conditions there.
Yeah.
So another example that I said earlier would be like your May wall win condition. But you've got to make sure that you set up for doing it. And the major thing that we're missing just now that we need to be doing in those win conditions is making sure that we're scouting so that our win condition is something that we can actually act on. So I've got a couple of things here. So I'll share my screen now. As everyone should be able to see. Everyone should be able to see the my screen in the.
Which link is it? First? Yeah, first one. Okay.
Right. So the background to this one is that you've just won first fight using Moira ult and you get cap point. So, straight up before we even start playing this, how do you think you would win this looking at this setup? And this
What's
is
that up? I can't see anything.
okay. This is why I asked if everyone was set up. If you go into the secret
chat.
team chat or team
Yeah,
team chat.
And then first link that is pinned.
First link. Okay.
Yep. Click on that.
Okay. All right.
Right. So,
Yeah. I see.
okay. So, in here, you've just won first fight, right? You know you have ultimate advantage here. What is going to be your win condition this fight?
Mm.
How'd you shot call this next fight?
Play it slow. Try and build up a bongo, and then just try and set up a pull rock on the Moira windshield, maybe.
So, is your pull rock a win condition?
Yes, in the sense that it's if we get it onto the ulting Moira, it takes away the win condition.
That's fair enough, but should they don't have a Moira here? If you look,
Wait,
Yeah.
who that? Wait, who is that then?
I know.
I can't see my screen. Doesn't let me.
It's more Messiana.
Mercy on. Oh, that changes it then. They're probably gonna nano the Reaper. Wait, no. Who's at 94?
Farah.
Farah. Okay.
so look at your look at your team and your ultimates that are coming up first.
We've got Orisa, we've got Reaper, and Sigma, probably.
All right. Now turn that around. Start looking at what ults do the enemy have coming up immediately next fight. So that's probably Nano and Barrage. And what ults might they have? So a lot of them are in 60, or both Merce, Valk, and Bongo, right? Neither of those are really a win condition. They're not really a win button, are they? But the other one is.
Yeah.
So there's two things to lead you to a win condition here. So two things for this win condition here. The first is that you need to think about what ults they have coming up. So the ones that we're really concerned with are this Ana ult and this Barrage, right? And then on our side of things, we're only coming up on Bongo, and we'll say everything else is kind of equal, right? So all of these sort of ults are coming up next fight, right? So it's super important. We took first fight, right? But we've lost ultimate advantage because of it, because they didn't use anything to take that first fight, right? So that puts them at an advantage coming into this next fight, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So the major thing you want to look for here and in fights like this is what ults is the first ones that are going to come up on the enemy side, and what you can do to prevent them, right? So that can be cooldowns, that can be positioning, anything. So how do you avoid that Nano Barrage?
Save Rock for the Farah, along with probably Sigma Shield, so I can block in and Rock cancel it.
All right, so you want to cancel it?
Yeah.
So everyone else, we call the plan. The plan is they're going to Nano Barrage. I'm going to stop it with Rock. What's everyone else? What should you be thinking now, Rick? What should you be thinking now that plan's been called? What should you be replying to him?
I have no idea what to reply to that. I guess I just go along with it.
So if you're playing Reaper, right, there's not an incredible amount you can do, right? However, there's one really important thing that you can do. Do you know what it is?
Shoot him or save Wraith.
Yeah. So, well, I guess two things, right? So you need to save Wraith. And you need to... How are you
Scout.
going to... How do you... Yeah. Shackler's got it. Plus... Scout. Because if you don't scout, how are you going to know where they are? And most importantly here, how is Spud going to know when to rock? What else do you need to do, Shackler, that isn't saving your cooldowns or scouting?
Positioning where I can use natural cover to hide from barrage.
Okay, but do you want to hide from it?
I would say some have to.
Do you want, let me phrase that differently, do you want the Pharah to be in a position where you can hide behind a wall and get out of our line of sight? Because
I'm not following you anymore.
I'm trying to say, if you position yourself, say, really far back or something, right? The takeaway is that you need to be in a position that forces their Pharah to ult out in the open, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to be doing it. You don't want to be hiding here, right? And then forcing the Pharah to barrage here if the plan is to rock her, right? If you play, where would you be playing here? So this is a question for Zed now. Now that you know, you want to know where Pharah is coming in, right? So you've scouted Pharah. So you need to know where she is in the open, right? What's the next thing you should be thinking, Zed? I'm saying back to the rest of the team.
What, to force the foul to ult in the open? Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to call that, as that can be whoever. But what else? Like, there's something else on top of this, specifically main tank, that's very good for yourself to call, even just for your own information. You know where, or you know the what you want to do, right? How do you set that up? What does your team need to know?
My cooldowns.
Does your cooldowns help you take out the Pharah?
Well, I was gonna say you could pull her, but
No, because if she's barraging you,
I can't. Yeah.
well, no.
I mean, it's still a win condition if you can kill her before she barrages. So that's good enough. It's a fair enough comment that you're wanting to pull, but also you want to be what? If you're on point here and you're split up, what are you going to be doing?
Wanting to group together.
Not necessarily grouping together, but knowing where you want to be playing, right?
Yeah. So call the position.
Oh yeah.
Because otherwise, this plan. The reason I'm writing it out like this is because I want to make clear that if you don't respond to this plan that Spud has made, which is we're going to pull rock the Pharah and kill her before she can barrage or as she's barraging, that's the win condition, right? So everyone else, do you think that's going to happen this next fight?
No.
Probably not.
So I'm going to let it play out, but I'm wanting to make it clear here before we go ahead, because I'll have to delete this. This plan doesn't work unless everyone takes into consideration they save their cooldowns to make sure that they can get out, or they save their cooldowns that will assist in the plan. Like if you're saving your if you're using your rock but saving your shift as well. So if the rock misses, then you can still shift it, for example, Spud. Farah, you need to make sure that you're in a position, or if we're playing a Farah, you need to make sure that they're in a position to follow up as well, so that if we do get that kill, or we stun the Farah, the follow-up's there to kill her, right? Which is down here, sorry, I should have wrote that as well, follow-up. So the follow-up has to be there. We have to know where she's coming from so Spud can actually react to it. Fire needs to be in the open, that's the what of the matter, but we need to know where we're playing. Otherwise we're going to be split apart and she might be barraging somewhere where Spud can't hit. So we need to play somewhere that Spud will have line of sight when she does barrage, right? A smart fire will wait and until you've used cooldowns, so a meta game here is looking into like how your things, but how you're looking at the next fight. But for now, just look at how this next fight plays out.
Even use anything?
Nope.
Fuck alright.
Okay. Moira, no Moira.
Moira, that's
And
it.
probably Sigma.
They just swapped tomorrow.
Or they just swapped Moira, so Sigma.
Sigma, I'm probably gonna say Barrage as well.
Yeah.
Okay, they're coming left side.
Yeah,
We
I got the
try and
Orisa
build
dead.
our ultis here. We
Orisa,
try
no,
and...
Nice.
no.
Yeah, just throw it.
So now this fight is won pretty much, isn't it? Because the win condition is swapped from kill that to it's now a 5v6. We can either push in. Unfortunately, it's all this kill does is delay. What's an important thing here to do? If this isn't a kill down a pit, if you manage to snipe someone out of spawn,
We probably want to push in if we just kill their Orisa.
right?
They're not gonna have the main tank.
So you want to put pressure on them, but say I was trying to get to the point, but I'll just say that if they've got a mercy, what do you want to make sure of?
Stop the res from happening.
Yeah, if you can stop that res, because she'll have to stand still for it, and you can probably rock her or
Yeah, pharmacy.
fire. You can hit her.
Can you help the pharmacy? I'll put shield
They're
here.
too far away. They'll drop down the wall, I think. I may get them on bridge.
Stun Sigma.
I booped him into your stun by accident.
Nice.
No, they're back in spawn.
Okay,
Well,
what are we gonna do?
the Orisa got pooped down, so
Yeah, that's why I said.
She
That's why I
couldn't- she
said
couldn't
that
go.
if she was in a resable position, then
okay.
What you would
yeah,
be
I didn't
doing.
do that.
See you next fight.
They're
We
probably
try-
gonna switch
we
to
barrage
Widow or
it, we
something.
pull
Yeah,
in
they're
with
going left,
barrage.
left, left, left.
Left,
They're
left,
coming
left.
left. We pull barrage, okay?
right. We're way too late in calling where they're rotating from.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
fly right above them, and then as they come in, we barrage.
They're repacked.
So the thing is here, right? You have control of the point. You're actually at the ult advantage here. How did the enemy win this fight compared to you here? Their win condition is this fire barrage, right? But really, that and Mercy is all they have to work with. They swapped their Ana, so they can't really do much, can they? Whereas we have barrage, and we're coming up on another 3 ults. If we ult first here, what do you think is going to happen?
We'll probably kill them.
Yeah, but what's going to happen if they ult you first and get more value? Do you need to take an aggressive position here when you're 3 ults up on the point already? Do you need to take that risk and push out from a safe position to try and get your barrage off?
Yeah.
No, you don't. Because why would you risk your own neck going out when you're in a safe position here? So the other thing is, Farah really shouldn't be... the best place for a Farah to barrage is behind like a ceiling wall like this, so Farah can sit up here and barrage like this. Or the same thing but looking down from the top, so this would be a wall here, right? Because it means that she's got like very limited line of sight in this direction, but it forces people to either be in this choke. So like the back of point here, you can barrage in like this, right? But is that position safe against an enemy that has CC or rocks? So you're pretty much sitting somewhere down here, like above the pit. Is that really a safe place to barrage from?
No.
No, because she got no cover.
Does that have any advantage to barraging from there into point compared to barraging in point down?
No.
No.
So which option should you go with?
Point.
Point.
The repress of right.
There's
Right.
no goal.
Up and one. Nice. Big. Push them over. Push them over. We push the rest. Push the rest. Foul point.
I'm dead.
So your win condition changed. You wanted to use your barrage. You used your barrage. Done, right? But we lost someone because we weren't set up for it quick enough, were we? So we ended up in a bad situation, and now we're like one person down. So let's go on to the next fight.
Nice. What's the hell?
So this is, you've just won the first fight, leading to the first cap, but it's been quite a long fight. So you know that they'll be about halfway to most of their ults, if not 70% to some of their ults, to the people who were doing really well on their team, right? So everyone, it was quite a long, drawn out fight. You should have the ultimate advantage, but you also you should have a lot of things. So first things first, you're playing bunker into a dive comp. Where should you be playing here? What advantage do you have over dive?
They have to dive into like the whole team if we play it correctly. So we can shoot them as they come in, and then once they're in, we can shut them down with Reaper.
Right. So you're playing bunker, which classically is anti-dive. So is there really anything you need to be doing when they're coming into you to prevent that?
We should probably be playing on point when they're coming in.
Right.
Should move back to point.
Yeah, so positioning, you want to be on point, right?
Yeah.
So that once you've capped it, that is, you want to take, or if you're not on point here, the other thing you can do is back to point quickly. In between shield rotations. To give yourself a little bit of poke here, but really you're not going to do too much in this area because they want to cross this distance, and anywhere that they can stage from is an advantage from them, right? So they want to drop off this high ground straight into you and then jump back, because the Winston can do this and then jump back up. But your advantage is that you just sit pretty. You have like an insane amount of point contest here. Like there's no way that they win this fight if they dive you. So the win condition here, the major win condition, is not even ults. It's not even positioning. The win condition is you pull / CC when they dive. Because you lock down whoever is actually engaging here. Right? So I can't remember. I picked down some examples where you lost and some examples where you won. So you won this one. So we'll go into the next one. So this one's the first fight on King's Row in the neutral fight.
Yeah, she'll do.
So coming into this, you're playing... I think they swapped the Junkrat, actually. No, they don't.
Junkrat.
Right, so you're playing the Reaper May versus their comp. First of all, we shouldn't have really let ourselves get walled like this, but what do you think is the win condition here? Just comp v comp. You're pretty much mirrored apart from you have a Reaper and they have a Junkrat.
We have more like survivability mid fight. We don't like if we focus down the Junkrat, he's gonna die a lot quicker than if they are to focus down a Reaper.
Right, so where do you want to be playing?
The faces, I guess.
Right, so how do you get in their faces?
Move forwards.
Right,
Well,
so is there anything that they've got that can stop you getting in their face?
Yeah,
Right, so they've got a Mei. So how can you prevent that Mei from walling you off?
Pay her wall.
Okay, but you're on defense here, so she's gonna wait until the most opportune time to use it.
just hold close onto them so she doesn't really get the chance to wall from far away.
Okay, or what else that you didn't do with your own Mei here?
Wall her off.
Yeah. So wall her off or wall individuals off. So this wall should really not happen, and if it does, right, this wall should be broken instantly, and then there should be a wall placed here. Like Mei should never. There should never be a chance where this Mei manages to walk in on her own and not get punished for it. So your comp versus their comp, you want to be. You have the advantage when you're in their face, so you need to get in their face. They've got their Mei to stop you getting in their face. And they've got more sustained output in the long fight, so you want to be taking that fight quickly. So you want to be baiting the Mei wall, holding close so the Mei can't get effect out of the wall, or walling the Mei off yourself. So,
They're gonna Mei.
we'll see how this plays out, but
They're going left side. Yeah, I've got
Pull,
shield.
can you pull above shield? Pull above shield.
No up. I got no up.
so when you're playing projectile, this is just something for everyone's reference. If you get a Mei wall like this, right? This is a decent enough Mei wall. But the thing is, does Mei wall do anything on its own?
No.
No need to follow up.
Yeah, so you do need that follow up, which means that you need to be calling every time you wall, good wall or bad wall, to tell your team if they need to engage or not. Because look how long it takes us to decide to engage here. Like, we should be in their face by now, right? But because of this position, we walled, right? And by the time we've decided to go in, the wall's pretty much dead.
Sigma no rock.
Sigma no shift. Sigma no shift.
And because of that, Mei's wall cooldown comes back up. Luckily, we all start moving forward and the wall doesn't get any effect. But say that was a better Mei, you get walled off here, oof. So you've just got to be decisive about it. So when things are happening like that, decisiveness.
Mei freezing your Ursa.
So when you see the Mei wall come out, decide if it's a good or bad Mei wall. If they don't call it themselves, then someone needs to take advantage of that. So usually it's whoever your main tank is.
Mei behind.
Push the Mei. Mei. Putting it back.
Nice. Break wall. Now we push.
Push it in.
So just a little thing here. Before you pull her back or before you actually use cooldowns, you can, especially when you're in a situation like that where you're waiting for a Mei, you can just say, once she comes out of it, I'm going to pull her. So that people know, oh, I don't actually need to use my Mei wall for this, right? And then they can use their Mei wall aggressively. Because say you Mei wall here, you kill the Mei, and then you just walk it down mid and then kill the rest of their team, yeah? So calling that usage of the cooldown would be really good there.
Healing up on you.
So you win that fight. Because guess what you did? It was sloppy, but you got in their face.
Watch it for fire up behind us.
Right, this one, second point of Anna, you've just lost first point. You've got 3 ults yourself and 3 ults that are not going to be coming up this fight. And you know that they just have Bastion and Baptiste coming up. So you have ult advantage here. What should be the first ult in this fight?
Bongo.
Bongo or Valk. Valk is a very good answer if you're playing into, like, right here. Valk should be used probably right at the beginning of the fight, in my opinion, and then Bongo should be used afterwards. It's okay to use them both because neither one of them really wins you the fight, does it?
No.
But both of them together, that is a pretty good win condition, to be honest. Like, you're going to be bursting them down. And the thing is, if they come in with Baptiste ult, and you've got to pop ults after the fact, do you think the Baptiste ult is going to win out against, at that point when you've already lost half your shield to a Bastion, do you think that the Bastion's going to win with the Baptiste or the Mercy Bongo?
Mercy Bongo.
So Mercy Bongo would actually lose, but it's because you're getting pushed into. So think of it like this. You know that you've got the advantage here this fight, right? There's nothing they can do apart from use Baptiste ult. So you need to be using your ults before they use theirs. So in this situation, you need to be using yours first to keep your advantage. And the other thing is, this comes down to having your win condition like this means that you don't need to use your big ults for a start because there's not really anything you can combo with your Sigma ult, right? So using 2 low resource ultimates like your Bongo and your Mercy is perfectly valid here to get your other ults.
Yeah, she's in front.
So we'll look at how this plays out. So win condition here, Bongo Valk immediately, Bongo Valk once they're set up, and then try and delete them in the once they're too far in.
Right door in. Okay, got shield tuning.
So tell me when you think that you should Bongo Valk here.
I can pull the Bastion out.
I got pulled down.
So I'd say that's too early. You want to do
I
it
got pulled down.
probably.
When they're at the corner.
Yeah. So once they're too far in to back out without taking a shit ton more damage, that's when you want to be going. So if you're looking for the Mei wall like this, perfect. Call it. Make sure you call going for the Mei wall. And then you can count it down, you can Bongo, and you can Valk at the same time, right? So the one call that's missing here, Zed, by the way, just as an aside in this clip, is that you didn't call that you dropped loud enough, so people didn't react. Is it alright for a Sigma to be standing on his own with a Bastion, high ground? Yes, because you've still got that shield, you've still got the backup, and you've still got the shift that you can use to bail your Bastion out with. Is it okay in this situation, where the Bastion's already set up on cart with a double shield? No.
No.
Can we drop? We'll drop back and by the way.
Drop.
So any time from like 5 seconds ago to now is perfectly valid time to Bongo Valk.
Drop.
Get bang with it.
What do you think? Can you predict what's going to happen now?
They're gonna pop Bastion ulti, I think.
Why would they pop Bastion ulti?
Because they can push onto the Orisa, who's alone on the low ground, I think. And
Why would they need to push into Orisa with Bastion ult? Don't they have enough damage without Bastion ult?
True.
So this is the thing that you guys didn't really get when you were playing in Hanamura. Bastion ult does fuck all. It's actually fucking useless. It's not even an ult, it's a change of form. And you know, the reason that you never see like massive streamers use it for damage is because it does no damage. Like, actually, hardly anything, unless it's damage boosted in some way. And how much damage do you think it does to shields compared to his normal?
200, 250.
Yeah, and then DPS wise, you're gonna break a shield so much quicker if you're on sentry mode instead of tank form. So double shield, you're better off not even using your ult. And if you do use your ult, you use it at the end of a fight once you've cleared up the shields.
Just push it in, push it in. On the back.
Pull,
Okay,
pull,
right,
pull,
left,
pull,
left, left, left.
So you said that you're pushing in, right? But we don't end up using anything. And now we use, and because of this isn't even Spud's fault. Because we don't Valk, because we don't use Bongo here, Spud realizes, wait, we're actually at a disadvantage here, we need to do something, and he has to ult. Which means that if you don't get kills with his ult, you're fucked.
Pull him five, pull him five.
Oh, they're frozen, it's fine.
On the Bastion. Bastion one. Nice, push it in, push it in. On the Sig here, on the Sig, pull the Sig.
Rocking, arrest.
Alright. So looking at that, I've got another example on Havana as well. Do you think you should have won that fight? With the planning that went into it?
No.
No.
No. They had all their pawns. They had everything lined up. They had everything they needed to push this cart, and they failed to do so. So they failed their win condition. But we invested all to do it. We didn't really call it. We didn't really do anything with it. Right, so... Alright, neutral fight. You're playing normal Doomfist Bunker into Cyber Dive with Auna Diva.
Right, we go straight to point.
So, where do you think, first things first, where do you think you should be playing here?
Point.
On point.
Right. So, do they have anything to stop you getting to point? At the beginning of the game? No. So that's fine. So our next point of thinking is, once we get to point, what should we be doing?
Focus on
corner.
target.
We can focus Monkey when he dives in because he doesn't have a diva.
Okay.
Yeah.
So focus / CC when they dive. Right? Perfect. That's a win condition. Are they going to be able to stop you doing this win condition? Probably not. If you have all these people on point, you have Orisa Pool, you have the Rock Stun, and you've got the Doomfist Punch, that Winston's fucking dead, right? So we'll play this and see what happens. So your win condition is get to point, wait for them to dive you, call the target, pull him, use all your CCs, kill him.
Objective.
Going right side.
We got dive, set up on point, set up
Ball
on
behind us, ball
Ball
behind us.
behind.
I'm punching ball.
I'm pulling ball back,
Ball stun, ball.
Monkey behind you. Monkey behind you. Monkey dead.
Oh look, you killed the one. You killed the monkey. But he wasn't the first one in. The ball was, so the ball really shouldn't have survived that. The thing is, if you're doing it like this, you need to. There was a very good chance that that ball was going in just to waste your cooldowns, because if he slams into your team, what's he gonna get? If he's surrounded by 6 people,
Ult.
well, what's he gonna do with ult charge? Not really anything, is he?
He's getting big shield.
Yeah, so he's not really going to be able to be killable. So either you hard commit to him and use your cooldowns, or you hold your cooldowns, and then once a monkey dives in, then you call that. So a little adjustment to the plan could have been wait for them to dive us. If the ball dives first, focus everything, or if the ball dives first, wait for someone else to dive, and then we'll pull down.
Watch Mercy, pull him Mercy right side.
Mercy behind you.
So, Cats and Shackler here. What is the enemy's win condition here? What do they need to do? Where do they have the advantage against your comp? What do they have to do to your team?
They'll try to hack someone important or use EMP.
Right? So hack, EMP, that's a win condition. They're not going to have that this fight. How do they win the neutral?
Die the support.
So, yeah, this is what you need to be thinking of. They probably win this if they can dive a Lucio or a Moira without their cooldowns. So, how do you prevent this? Keep your cooldowns as long as possible. And what else? What else is important here that lends itself to making sure that you're not leading into their win condition, and what leads into making sure that they're playing into your hands?
Stay close together.
Yeah. Stay close, or if not close, within peel. So, everyone here, do you think that our team's positioning here is fine?
No.
No. So what are we?
We're split up.
Yep.
Split.
So is there a chance? We've got the first pick this fight. We should win this, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
But is it really a 5v6 if we're split up like this? This is basically like, this is a 1v1 or a 2v1 at most. And then you have a ball here that's distracting 1, 2, 3, 4 people. So if the enemy get their shit together, dive Shackler, who's just used Fade, or dive the Doomfist, they're probably going to kill them, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On board again.
Someone behind you.
Oh, look. Oh, look. Doomfist died because he was out in the zone.
Mercy one.
Yeah, sick hack.
Need help, need help.
Behind.
Behind
Behind you.
Boom. Pulling in.
you right side behind.
Hold on.
So you kind of miss your cooldowns here, but what can you do to make sure that you're CCing someone completely into the ground? Tanks, Zed and Spud.
Pull rock.
Coordinate.
Yeah.
So make sure that the pull comes out first, and then after the pulls came out, after the stun wears off, then you rock, because it's almost like a guaranteed. They don't have a shield, so that it's almost a guaranteed stun because he's sitting fucking still. So
Yeah.
the thing is, if you play the other way, you have. If you just use your cooldowns as you get them, right? So option 1, you use your cooldowns as you get them. You've got maybe like, I don't know, a 70% chance of hitting him, and then on top of that, 2 seconds later, you've got a 2-second window where he can escape. The enemy can escape, and then you have, say, an 80% chance of pulling him. Do you think you've got more or less odds if you do pull and then rock straight afterwards without this?
We probably have better odds by comboing.
Yeah, so if you do it this way, you've probably got a 100% chance that you're going to pull him because you wait for him to dive you, don't you? So
Yeah.
if he's doving you, chances are he slammed everyone else in the air, or he's he's rolling through and you've scouted him, so you know he's coming, and then you've got almost a 100% chance of rocking him because there's no way you can miss a barn door. And the chances are of him escaping here, 0, pretty much, unless he escapes after this. So,
Fucking ball.
next thing.
On them with the coalescence.
Okay, classic. They're playing a bunker with a widow. That doesn't really concern you, but they're playing Bastion on cart, and you're playing your May double shield Reaper. How do you win this fight?
Wall up the bastion.
Okay, that's more of a
That's
means to an end. What do you need to be doing? team v team
Get
here.
their faces.
So you need
Go back.
you need to play on them, right? Or
Yeah.
you need to be getting to them. What can they do to stop that?
Pull us back and then shoot us with Bastion.
Pull? So damage?
Yep.
So damage is a big one here. What can you do to prevent that damage?
Shield it or go together, like really close. Take the
Shield
shortest.
Bastion.
Yeah. We can
Shield
actually
wall.
off. Yeah.
So I think you said it there, but take the shortest path possible. Short path or high ground, so
Yeah.
that you can dive onto them, right? And I don't mean like this high ground up here. I mean like going through the house here, right onto them, because then
Yeah.
you're pretty much right on top of them. The longer it takes for you, the more time it takes for you to get to them, what is this here, this period of time?
Damage that they can do to us.
Yeah, so win condition wise, that is time to kill. That is their win condition, is to lengthen this as long as possible. Your win condition is here. So you need to be getting to this location ASAP. So you do that by shielding, you walling, taking your high ground, pulling them together so that they're together when you ult, right? So now we're thinking better. Talk about ults now. We now know where we need to play. We now know how we need to position ourselves this next fight. What do we want to be doing this next fight? What ults have we got coming up to confirm
We've
this
got-
fight?
Engage with Cole.
Moira and Sigma.
Moira Sigma. So if you say we'll do both, right?
Yep.
We're gonna Moira ult after we Sigma ult, right? I'd say this is just an example, but you would probably Moira ult first and then use your Sigma ult after this fight
Yeah.
to answer their Sigma ult. But what can they do to stop that?
Sigma ult.
Sigma.
Yes.
And,
Baptistimo.
yes.
So you have Seg, Moira ults. So you now know as a team, okay, they're gonna try to stop that with their own Sig ult to force us up in the air so that they get time for Bastion to get his damage in, or Widow to get a headshot, or someone to do enough damage to kill something, right? They've got Baptiste immortality to stop when you get there. So Sigma, Moira, what should you be thinking about right now, Spud? How do you add to that plan? Coming back to your side. You know your win condition is Moira ult and then Sigma ult. And their win condition is to Sigma ult you back or use immortality to prevent your Sigma ult doing damage.
Yeah.
So cut it down to the basics. How do you do a Sigma ult and prevent immortality going off?
Kill the Baptiste as he's in there.
Yeah. Kilba.
So you kill Bat whilst he's in the air. But is that really reasonable to do every time? Probably not. You don't really have the damage for it. What can you do?
Focus down immortality when it's up while I've Sigma ulted. Maybe.
Right, even further back, even more basic than that. Make him use or watch
Yeah.
the cooldown for immortality.
Yeah.
So that your win condition is confirmed. So the only way to do that realistically in this comp is to get on top of them. So your win condition is get on top of them, wait for immortality, Sigma ult. and then you use Moira ult to sustain until you get that or that out. Because what can Moira do?
Damage and heal at the same time with Colossus.
Damage and heal, but most importantly, Shackler, what doesn't she get affected by when she's using her ult?
Shields.
Shields. So it just goes through everything. She can focus down that immortality really quick. So damage orb in, Moira ult. Chances are that puts the Bastion low already. If not, you're on top of them. The Baptiste immortality comes out. Boom, Sigma ult, you win this fight. And at that point, even if they Sigma ult, is your Moira going to get caught in it? Probably not.
No.
Are they going to have... Is there going to be a very good chance that they're going to be able to kill you before you kill them without an immortality? Probably not. And especially because you have so much survivability on your team, right? You don't even get affected by it. Shaq, you're going to be playing away from the ultimate. Reaper is Wraith. The Lucio should be speeding you in and then getting out. If Kat was here, I'd be asking her what she should be thinking of against a Sigma, which is speeding the team from the edge of your speed boost instead of right in the middle of the fight. Spud, you've got your shift and you've got your own Sigma ult. Like, you're probably going to get caught and take damage from it, but chances are you're not going to die from it. And May has her ice block. Really, their Sigma is not a win condition, is it? Because you've got cooldowns to prevent it.
Yeah.
So looking at it that way, should you win this fight? Is there any way that you lose this fight?
No.
Yeah. There should not be a way that you lose this fight unless you have bad pathing, or you fight without 6 people, or you don't fight to your win condition, which is using say you use Sigma ult before they use the immortality. Oh, they're slammed down into immortality. Oh, now they're healed up. Oh, fuck. Now we pop Moira ult. Oh, but it's not actually doing much. You see why you would be using Moira ult before Sigma ult in that situation? Yeah?
Yeah.
Mm.
Not every situation, but for this, because your win condition is to get on top of them, you want to do that with taking as little damage as possible and forcing out that immortality. You want to be using it aggressively. Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
Watch it.
I got it. Sitting on payload.
On the countdown, we've run into them. Wait for Lars real quick.
So you say on the countdown, we run into them, wait for Lars real quick.
Wait a minute, like, top left, wait at top left.
1.
So is that the best place to run into them?
No.
No, you basically took the longest route possible. So what would have been a better path? Because you got plenty of time.
Through the house.
Through the house? Through upper house? Through lower house? What else could you have done? At the bottom of the screen here. Yeah, so you could wait for them. That's perfectly acceptable. If you win this fight, you know your win condition is to get on top of them, right? Doesn't matter if they take that space before the fight happens. Not really. Like, are they going to get any advantage by pushing up into you? No, they're actually losing their advantage, aren't they?
Yeah.
So if they're walking into you with a blindfold on, are you going to stop them?
Yes.
I mean, no, you're not. You're gonna watch them walk into you and then kill them. Also, there's plenty of like hidey holes in this map. Go down, go through tavern or something. Like, there's plenty of options. So we'll see what happens here. You've just sit to engage.
Go no. No.
Shooting up. On the bastion.
Get the aim.
Oh.
Bastion too low. Bastion one. Stay on the
Healing up a point.
Push Arista. I'm on Arista.
Sigma right side behind.
60. Pushing up here. On the wrist.
Arista. Kill Arista.
So was that a win because you played it well?
No, they just didn't punish us.
They
Yep.
just played it badly.
They just played it badly. Precisely. Why do you think you lose to teams that are higher SR than this team?
Because they don't play it badly.
Yeah. Or they have a little bit more coordination.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
What's the time? Let's take a quick break, and then we'll reconvene in like, I don't know, say 10 minutes, 10 past, 8 minutes time. Have a
Alright.
quick toilet break / drink.